Hello guys, going to do another part 2 of my collection. Apologies for the first one. I had someone come to the door, so I cut that one short. I went through 34 games at that time, so this time around I'm going to go through 46, just so I can catch up with the parts. So I'll put it through, I'll have it go up to 10 parts for the 400 games that I have in my collection. Just a nice even number. So I did finish off at Test Drive Unlimited, so I'll quickly go over that one and then carry through to the rest of the 46 games I've got in this part. So Test Drive Unlimited, a game that I haven't played too much of, an older style game, picked it up just recently, and looked kind of different. I think it was more more of a story based sort of driving game, so you could go to certain areas and unlock certain stories and events and things. So sort of the first one that had that sort of feature in the game. So yeah, looked interesting, but haven't played too much of it. This one along is Dante's Inferno. I haven't played too much of this, so can't comment too much on that. Interesting sort of game style, hack and slash I think it is, and made by the same people who did Dead Space, I see. So yeah, should be pretty good. I think I've seen mixed reviews on this one though, but yeah, maybe later on I'll pick it up and play it. Viva Pinata, pretty good game. It's a lot of content in here. You can play for hours and hours. Looks kind of kiddie, but it's got a lot of elements that keep anybody interested. So yeah, it's an interesting style game. Very old game now, probably 2006 I think it was brought out. Have played a lot of this on my old account, so a lot of the achievements I don't have anymore, but you can pick it up cheap, pick it up. I think I picked this up for about $3, so yeah, good buy, and worth it for that amount of money. Next one is Rogue Warrior. Haven't played it. This is a game that I picked up cheap again, so looked kind of interesting, so yeah. Maybe later on I'll play it when I get a bit of time, but currently I haven't gone through it yet. Next one, another recent pickup, Moda GP13. Kind of interesting, so I thought I'd pick it up. It was cheap at our store down here, less than $20 I think, so it'll be worth the pickup. Played a little bit of it. Kind of interesting, the controls, haven't been able to really master them as yet, so it'll be interesting if I'll probably play it again at a later stage, but yeah, I have played a lot of racing car games in the past, so maybe my interest is waning a little bit at this time, but maybe something I can pick up on, like I said, later, and see how we go with that. Next one is FIFA 10. I'm not a big fan of these sort of games. I picked this one up pretty cheap. It was around about $5, I think, something like that, and just to add to the collection really. So yeah, that's FIFA 10. Next one is Fuse. I hadn't heard much about this game at all. It came out last year. Picked it up for with the GP, the MotoGP 13 game, so it was just under $20. So I thought it'd be worth having a look at, and when I get a chance, I'll get around to playing it. I've only just picked it up recently, so yeah, it's on my list of games to play. So looks kind of interesting at the back there. It's a first-person or third-person shooter, I think. Type of cover system to it, etc. Maybe a sort of Gears of War type clone type deal, but maybe an interesting sort of game. So I picked up just this weekend is Civilization Revolution, so I haven't had any chance to play it yet. So, but it's a Civilization, so it should be pretty good. They normally don't fail too much on these sort of games, so should keep me interested. So I'll play it in the future and maybe do a pick up on it and give it a bit of a review. Next one is Hitman Blood Money. Part of the Hitman series, so this is the older game, but of its time was a very good game, and it's an interesting third-person type shooter, cover system and stealth and all that sort of carry on. It was pretty cool. Yeah, graphics are a bit dated now, but still, series is brilliant. I really like it. And it's part of the Hitman series, so you can't really lose. Well, we've got Hitman. I'll go over Hitman Absolution, which is this one here. A fantastic game. I just really enjoyed this one a lot, and one of my favourite games. I think this was last year, no, 2012. So yeah, one of the top games of that year for me. Like I said, great stealth system. You could, you know, you're acting as a hitman, so you can't just run out and blow everything up. You've got to use your brains. You know, there's a lot of different situations where you have to play differently, and yeah, it's really interesting gameplay dynamics, and yeah, just a really good storyline as well. Keeps you engaged, and I've got the collector's version of this one, as you've probably seen in the other video. Square Enix do such a good job with games these days, so yeah, it's just part of that collection. This is the collector's edition. What's it? Professional edition. So that's what it's called, and it comes with some DLC in here. Art book. The game. I've played the game. I've just upgraded to the collector's edition, so that's why this one is still sealed. I have played right through it. Highly recommended. Next one, 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. Yeah, not much to say about this game. Sorry about the glare there. I've got the light on here. But yeah, not too much to say. But I've heard some, you know, differing sort of reviews on it. I'm guessing if you like 50 Cent type music, then this will be a pretty good pickup. It has a fairly interesting story elements to it. Play as 50 Cent and go around blowing up stuff, I guess. Haven't played it, but picked it up at a cheap price, so added to my collection. Next one is XCOM Enemy Unknown. So yeah, I've played a little bit of this. Got a little bit lost with it. Probably not quite my cup of tea as far as gameplay goes, but it looked interesting, and top reviews for it if you like the style of game. A lot of team sort of dynamics to it, and obviously there's a different type of gameplay that I'm used to. I'm more of a third person or first person type game player who sort of appreciates those sort of games, but I can see, you know, the value to this game as well. Yeah, so maybe later on I'll pick it up again and carry on. I have played through the first, I think, 2 missions of it, and interesting, and yeah, they've done a pretty good job with the, because it was the original XCOM that came out on PC, which was a classic, so they had to do something fairly similar, and I think they've achieved that quite nicely with the updated graphics, etc. Next one is Shadows of the Damned. So this one here, another one I've sort of played the introduction of it, first couple of sections of the game, and I've put down and haven't picked up again. So it was an interesting game. I quite liked it actually when I played it, and quite surprised. Yeah, adventure style sort of. I guess, what would you call it? Gothic style sort of theme to it, I guess. But yeah, it had an interesting character, some interesting gameplay elements to it. So yeah, I might get back to it later on. We shall see. Next two are the Saw series, the original Saw and Saw 2. This is a promotional copy, the full game though. Picked up for, they sort of keep their prices, these two, because they're fairly rare copies. They're not too easy to find, and they'll keep their prices up. So decided to pick it up. I actually enjoyed the original Saw. I thought this was a really good game. Played right through it, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. So had some of the movie elements to it, with Jigsaw, and the puzzles were kind of involved and can be a bit repetitive at times, but actually, I got through it and enjoyed it quite a bit. In Saw 2, unfortunately, probably took a bit of a backward step to me. It was, I think they got into these quick time sort of fighting elements, just too much of it, and took over the gameplay too much. I haven't played right through it. Sort of got to the beginning of it and found that it had changed a lot, and didn't appreciate that. So I might get back to it later on. Who knows? Some easy sort of achievements to be had here. So that's the Saw series. Next two is the Aliens stuff. So Aliens vs Predator was an okay game. Probably gives this sort of like 5 or 6 out of 10. Some of the gameplay elements weren't too bad in it, and graphics, I mean, are pretty poor for today's standards, but were okay when it was brought out. So not a bad job on that one. But this one here is probably famous for its lack of attention to detail. Well, really, its graphics are so poor, and its gameplay is even poorer, and got reviewed very poorly, and I would have to agree with that. I do have the collector's version of this. I picked it up very cheap. So this one is still sealed. I have played the game to a certain extent. Get some very easy achievements in this, but I found it very frustrating. The aliens just crawling out of ceilings and out of walls, and they're just all the same looking, and it's just a terrible game, really, to be honest. Yeah, just really couldn't get into it, and I couldn't force myself to play my way through it. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this game at all. Like I said, I did pick up the collector's, very cheap cost. I think it was around $30, so it was going very cheap within about a month period of time. So it's the only reason why I picked that one up. Okay, next series is the Call of Juarez. So we've got the Bound in Blood one, which was pretty good. I mean, a spaghetti sort of western type feel to it, first person shooter type thing. Had some interesting elements to it as well. Shooting mechanics, and story wasn't too bad, really engaging. This one, on the other hand, was, well, I've never played it, to be honest, but I've heard the reviews on it, and I've really got put off, and what I've heard is they've really gone backwards in the series. So maybe I'll pick this one up and give it a go, but yeah, maybe the reviews are going to put me off playing it. I did pick it up quite cheap, so I did add it to the series here. I might download, there's some downloadable, I think a arcade Call of Juarez, which looks a lot better, so I might pick that one up instead of playing this one. We'll wait and see. Next one is Frontlines, Fuel of War. Haven't got too much to say about this one. It's a pretty old game. I think it's 2000 or 2008. Not too old, but it's, yeah, it looks like a military style game. Shooter again. I might give it a crack someday. And next one is, sorry about the light here, I'm right in the middle of it. So, Blazing Angels. I think this, yeah, Squadrons of World War II. This is the original one, I think. Was this the? I think this is the original one. So yeah, this is 2006. Yeah, the original one. Played this a long time ago on my old account. It was pretty good for its time. Yeah, I remember it probably being the best flight sort of sim game that came out on the Xbox at the time. Probably wouldn't stand up much these days though. The Saboteur. I didn't really give this one a good crack. I've heard it was really, people really enjoyed it, and it's a good game. It's sort of a Grand Theft Auto style, set in France, I think it is, and during World War II, I think it is. And yeah, you're a saboteur of some sort. Lots of missions to it. Grand Theft Auto style, open world type deal. Next one is Stranglehold. John Woo's presents Stranglehold. Played a little bit of this. Looked kind of interesting. Like I said, I picked this one up not too long ago. It's 2007. The graphics were dated, and I just couldn't. Got through a couple of levels and just couldn't get back into it again. So I'm not sure about this, but yeah, some interesting sort of fighting styles to it. Decent sort of game. Next one is Prey. Really fantastic game. I've played this on the PC. I played it on the Xbox. Really old game. It's one of those original titles for the Xbox that came out. Sort of a must-have though, because this is one of the best games. Still holds up pretty well even these days. I think even the graphics are pretty good on this, and yeah, really good, interesting mechanics to this as well, where you can flip upside down and attack enemies like that, and multiplayer was pretty cool on this as well. Obviously very old now, but still stands up. If you find a copy of it, pick it up definitely. You can pick it up for probably less than, between $5 and $10. Next one is Green Lantern. This one came with 3D glasses. It was pretty cool actually. I quite liked the concept there, and it did pop out a little bit, and yeah, not too bad a game. It was fairly repetitive, but graphics were sort of decent, I guess. But this one here comes with something. It comes with a DVD, I think, of Green Lantern or something. Not exactly sure. So the game, I think a DVD. So the animated First Flight, Green Lantern or something. Yeah. So had some interesting gameplay elements to it. Well, it's mainly the 3D part of it that I was more impressed by. Otherwise the story was average and the gameplay was average. Okay, next one's The Army of Two. It's the classic version, and The Army of 240 Days. Haven't played too much of this. What I've heard is it's a pretty good game. I think you play as, it's more of a you play as two characters, and it's best played, with two people. So yeah, and I was only playing by myself, so yeah, probably lost a little bit of its impact. Decent enough games though, so both of these, the original is probably better than this one, but well worth a pick up. They're fairly old games now, I think. I think this one was what, 2007. Yep, this is about 2010, so it's more modern. And there's been a new one that's come out recently as well, so I don't have a whole set of those, but yeah, decent enough games. Next one is Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. Played a little bit of this. It was okay. First person shooter, war sort of theme to it, which has been really overdone over the years, but yeah, this was okay. Multiplayer wasn't too bad on this either, so yeah, you can pick this up very cheap. Okay, I've got the two, well, they're probably not, they're sort of in the same series, I guess, but so Race Driver Grid and Colin McRae Dirt, really realistic driving games. Yeah, I really enjoyed these. Heaps of tracks on there and good physics, yeah, for the time. Yeah, really good top quality games. You can pick them up probably pretty cheap these days as well. Both within these sort of classic series boxes, which I don't mind. Next two we have is two Far Cries that I have. I do have Far Cry 3 of course as well. These are the old Far Cries. So Far Cry Instinct's Predator, one of the original titles that came out back in 2006, so I think quite an early title. Graphics just don't stand up these days. I put this one in not too long ago and I just couldn't get through it. The graphics are so poor on this. Yeah, the original Far Cry I thought so much better graphics on the PC and things, but it didn't really convert that well to the Xbox. This was a very expensive game when it first came out as well. I think it was around $120, $130 in New Zealand, and just glad I didn't pick it up for that price anyway. So you can pick this up probably for about $10 these days. Far Cry 2 is a lot better, of course. This open world in Africa. You had malaria and all sorts of things interesting. You could develop a lot of your weapons and skills, etc. And could be a bit confusing. It's a very open world game. Yeah, but still a solid game, and you'll probably pick it up today and play it, and the graphics would probably stand up pretty well. I've done this one. I'll pop that one aside. Now, I do have the whole collection of Tiger Woods games, and I do have 2014 as well, so it's all the Tiger Woods games. I won't go into too much detail over them. Yeah, they're all solid games. I quite like Tiger Woods, and the golfing series of games are probably, bar the cricket games, which I quite like. I quite like cricket, which is a sport that we play in New Zealand, and golf's probably my second favourite collection of games. They just continually improve over the years, and yeah, just enjoyable to play. 2014 is up somewhere else. It's got lost, so I'll go through that when I have a chance, because I did play that one quite not too long ago, so I'll go in a little bit more detail with that one. Okay, next ones are Ghostbusters, the video game. Great game. This is one that I've played a little bit of and put down and haven't picked up again, but we'll get back to it again. It stays quite loyal to the franchise. It's got all the voice acting has all the voiceovers from all the actors from the original Ghostbusters, so really interesting, really good game. Recommend that. Star Trek, this was the bitter disappointment for last year. Was very buggy and rushed out, I would suspect. Yeah, poor implementation of the license, and probably one to stay clear of, as hasn't gone down in price too much either, so I think I picked this up quite cheap though on a special run. Next one, Burnout Paradise. This is an old racing game. Good game for its time, had a really good music track to it, I remember, and some solid gameplay to it as well. Next one is Dead Space 3. Played right through this one, really enjoyed it. Really good story play elements to it. Different to the other Dead Spaces, where those were just more inside sort of gameplay. This ventured outside, and I really enjoyed it. I liked those sort of elements as well. So probably not as scary as the other two, but yeah, solid and well worth a pick up and play. Next one along is Blur. Really enjoyed this game. Yeah, highly recommend it. It's solid gameplay, a lot of power-ups, things like that. Yeah, it's just a really good game, really good multiplayer to it as well, and you can pick it up fairly cheap, I would say. Even the graphics keep up. It's a 2010 game, but the graphics are still pretty good with this, even for today's standards. So it comes highly recommended. And last one in this series of games is Rocksmith 2000. This is the 2013 edition. Like I mentioned before in my collectors go through, this is I've got the guitar for this. This is a real guitar. You can play guitar or bass, and I play both. I mean, I'm not great at these sort of games. There's a lot of there's a lot of technique you've got to use, and yeah, it works fine. It's fantastic, and I've picked up all the basics on it. It's just getting to the next level is a bit more difficult, Obviously you're playing a real guitar, so you've got to have a bit of ability and a bit of music nous, I suppose. And I do have the 2014, which I will try to get into. The problem is that one of my strings is broken, so I can't get it through with tune-up. So I'm going to have to get that fixed, and then I'll probably get back into it again. But I've played a good chunk of it, and it comes recommended. If you want to play a real guitar, this is a really good way of doing it, and yeah, pretty easy walkthrough on how to do that for yourself. Okay guys, that's it for me for round 2, so I will try and keep up with this. I've got, like I said, another 320 odd games to go through, so I'll get around to it next week or so. Yeah, and leave any comments you like. If you want me to go through in more detail any games, just give me a holler, and I can do that for you. Otherwise, thanks for watching.